On my stream last Saturday, I and some of the community tested out a variety of faster Khmer build orders. The concept is simple. Since Khmer don't need any specific buildings to be built to advance to the next stage, they can skip a mill and lumber camp and still click up to Feudal Age as early as 16 pop. The downside comes at the cost of some economy imbalance, which can leave you exposed to enemy aggression. Full disclaimer, I have yet to win a 1v1 match with any of these strategies, but could it have success in a team game? Let's find out. If you are playing on Arabia, you can click to Feudal Age with 16 population and loom research. You could skip loom and get an extra villager if you push deer to your town center, since food from deer collects faster than from sheep. However, due to some of these strategies involving forwards, I would not recommend skipping loom. So for this guide, we start by building 2 houses and sending our first 6 villagers on sheep. Pretty standard stuff. You need to use your other sheep and scout to find your boars as soon as possible, since the 7th villager will be going out to lure a boar. If you can't find your sheep or boar at the beginning of the match, the build order has failed. Continue to send villagers to the boar and sheep under your town center. Your 9th villager should go grab the 2nd boar, and remember to build a house near your TC before you reach your 15 pop limit. That's pretty much it for the Dark Age. If you can push a deer to your town center around the time you bring in your 2nd boar, your build will be a lot smoother. Then make sure you go scout your opponent's base. After you have 15 villagers and loom, click up to Feudal Age. At this point, we hopefully have a few more sheep remaining under our town center and about 100 wood in the bank. Our first goal is to send villagers to a wood line and build a lumber camp. Generally 7 is a good number. After that, we are sending villagers to either make a mill or to make a mining camp on gold, depending on our strategy. You could also possibly put them on stone and go for a tower rush, since you will be up quite quickly and your opponent, generally speaking, will not have counter towers ready. We're going to try to mirror the strategy of our opponents though, so either scout their economy setup or take a good guess at their strategy according to their civilization. If they go for scouts, we'll have scouts out about 1 minute or more faster. If they go man-at-arms into archers, we'll have archers to protect our base before their man-at-arms even show up. The most risky option, if you really feel like it, is to go forward with an archery range. I would not recommend it against a Mesoamerican civ or any civ that will go towers or a scout opening, since you won't be able to mass archers before they have a strong army. If you, like me, try to do this against Incas, I mean, I'm keeping him at home. That's a good thing, right? Oh shit. That's not a good thing. He's already towered that. And they're so fast too. Although fast castles are less common in the current meta, this strategy will give you a decent counter. To forward with an archery range, you need to send 1 villager forward immediately when you click up to Feudal. If you are spotted, the plan is pretty much ruined because that villager will get taken out. So take the time to go the long route to your opponent. Use your scout to slow down your opponent's walling, and hopefully they won't have loom for their villagers yet. The biggest difficulty with the early archers is their weakness without fletching, and since your economy is a bit weaker since you went up at 16 population, you generally won't have the resources to get fletching for quite a while. Stonewalling in your archers behind your opponent's woodline or next to the resources could work like a little improvisational tower. Otherwise, you want to hide the presence of your archery range and archers as long as possible and only expose yourself once you have more stopping power. A scout opening is a much safer choice. You don't have to go to gold as early, and you will have less town center idle time than if you went for archers. The key to make the most out of Khmer's no building needed bonus is to focus on flooding your opponents with units so that their counters matter less. If you are forced to build more buildings to create counter units, you lose any advantage in saving wood. Prioritize unit numbers over upgrades as much as possible and hold off on non-essential buildings such as a blacksmith market or university. You need to keep the pressure up because if you lose momentum, you will likely lose the game. Sending 2 villagers from wood to stone around 30 population can allow you to build some towers forward to support your raiding units. Back at home, you'll need a tight economy to keep the pressure up. If your opponent tries to counterattack in Feudal Age, rely on house garrisons and towers to protect you. Remember, you have no barracks to create spears to defend yourself. Wall your resources in with houses and garrison from one side of the house to the other to use it like a gate. You don't have to defeat your opponent in Feudal Age, but Castle Age will be tricky. A Castle Age strategy that could work is to build a siege workshop and pump out scorpions. They will pair well with your light cavalry, and you don't even need a blacksmith to build the siege workshop or upgrade your scorpions. The Khmer's strong monks can also take care of your opponent's knights. So to recap the fast scout build, put all 15 of your Dark Age villagers to collect food until you click up to Feudal Age, then build your lumber camp with 7 villagers. Next is your mill once the food under your TC runs out, build a stable and then house once you reach Feudal Age. You probably won't be able to afford economy upgrades for a while, but the goal is to hit your opponent hard and keep hitting until they resign. Let me know if this build order ever works for you and any changes you might want to make. See you next time.